Welcome back to Tempa Customs, and on this episode we are going to go get my dad's car, do a little bit of work on it for him, a little bit of background on it. It's a 2015 Equinox. I think it's 2015. It's in that era though. And last year he blew the engine on it, and we found out that it's some kind of a oil injected engine or something like that, and somehow the injector failed, and it whatever it did, because it still had oil in it for a minute, and then it didn't. So not 100% sure on how that happened, and he hasn't had it that long. So what happened was he took it back in there just last week or 2 weeks ago because his AC stopped working. And then when I was in there trying to look at it for him, actually the AC was working, but the fan wasn't working. When I went in there to look at it for him, water was dripping on the floor of the passenger side. And it wasn't antifreeze, it was just water. So I told him to take it back, because I had a feeling that when they did the engine replacement, or whatever they did to the engine, that they had pinched a line, the drain hose. So when he got there, they said that it was plugged, and that it filled up with water and it burned the motor out. I have a feeling the best they were going to admit to is that it got clogged, not that they pinched the line and water couldn't get out. I'm 99% sure that's what happened. While he was there, they also said, you've got a hole in your exhaust, which he knew about. There's some kind of a hole in the exhaust I'm going to inspect. But that he needed rear calipers. And so he left. He didn't get any of that work done. But I told him to bring it over so I could look at it. And I did look at it. And I don't think he needs calipers, but it definitely looks like pads and rotors. It's starting to make noise. So he picked up pads and rotors. And I'm going to go pick up his car right now, take it home, and we will do the rear pads and rotors on it. If for some reason he needs calipers, we'll see. I don't see why he would. They seem to be working just fine. So once we pick it up, we'll delve into the back end and see what we have involved with the back end. Well, I'm driving her home. Well, I'm driving it home, and as you guys heard from the intro, these rear brakes are shot. I'm 99% sure we're going to find that this rear end is steel on steel, because it just sounds atrocious. The whole back end sounds like it's grinding apart. I wish he would have told me a little bit sooner, but he's busy, I'm busy. It happens. We'll get it fixed up. It'll all be good. But heading back home, let's see if you can hear it. It doesn't sound as bad. Oh, it doesn't sound good. I don't even know if you can hear it, but yeah, it's not good. So we'll get home, we'll get it torn apart, get it fixed, get it back to him tonight, and he should be good to go for another 30,000 miles or whatever the rear brakes take on this car. So we'll see you back at home. We've got the front tires blocked off on the other side, and the rear end is jacked up. Oh, that's bad, really, really bad. And let's see if we can get this off of here. These are these stupid lug nuts that are swelling. Yeah, these aren't good. These lug nuts are shot. I have to get a hammer to get that on there, because it's just the caps, these stupid chrome caps that they put on here that swell, and then you can't get a socket on them. Hold on. Really, the only way I know to get these off is you got to beat the socket on. If you damage this outer edge, it becomes, I think, a 21. I may be going through and peeling these off and ordering him up some new lug nuts, because those are garbage. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. They're just full of rust. Needs an alignment in the back end. I'll let him know about that. That's like one of those things that I can't do, is an alignment. That is garbage. One of the ways you can tell that your brakes are bad is when you have really, really raw metal right here. And it's smooth and then not smooth. And you can tell that your brake pad is so far set. It's hard to tell here, but it's almost to the end of the shim, or the vibration, whatever these, I think they're vibration shims. I don't know what you call them, but whatever they are. Yeah, this is garbage. So we'll pop this off and hopefully easily expand the caliper or compress the caliper and put new pads on it and new rotors. 14mm bolts. We're gonna pop these off of here, hopefully easily. Oh, that wasn't bad at all. I'm gonna need to get a shorty, a standard socket for that. Hold on. Okay, short 14 fits in there. There we go. So I'm gonna see come down to these caliper slides on these pins. And right now, yeah. This pin slides nice. And that one, you can see these boots, how easy those move, which means there's not a caliper problem, which means you don't need to replace the caliper. But these are e-brake calipers, so these are going to have to get, oh, they are not e-brake calipers. That's great. It means I can just compress them. That's fantastic. This is metal on metal. And this one is just about metal on metal if it isn't as well. He got his life out of these brake pads. We have a lot going on at the shop today. We got Sam over here still prepping the Fiero to get it wrapped. And he's exposing what was a very limited color paint job. That silver bottom with the blue, it was really pretty. He's slowly getting attacked though. We got some fiberglass repair here and there to do, but it was a nice car. And then back here, the other day Andrew went to leave in the Cherokee and he blew all the oil out of it, and that made a mess here. So that'll be on another episode coming up of us redoing the oil pump, because we think the oil pump check valve failed and it blew out the gasket on the oil filter. So that'll be another episode. Okay, so we'll get this out of here. This might require two hands. Hold on. So there's one pad. There is almost no pad left at all. And this one is about the same. That's no pad. This is as little pad as you can have and still have some pad. Oh yeah, it's gone in the back. The rotor's shot. Okay, let me get these off. These are going to be 15s, I think. Yeah, 15s or 16s. Let me grab a wrench for that, and we'll get the caliper bracket out of the way. 15 it is. Uh-oh. There it is. Whew, that was close. Get the caliper brackets out. Again, as long as these are doing this, the caliper is going to move just perfectly fine and free. So I'm not concerned about it being a bad caliper thing. It's just a worn down brake thing. To be honest, one of the most important things that we are going to deal with on this project that I didn't check ahead of time and I should have is, did we get the right rotors and pads? Because at this point the vehicle's in the air. It looks to be the right rotor. It's got a standard cable e-brake system. It's weird. Starting to move. Ah, yeah, very simple. The emergency brake pads look brand new, which makes sense. The rotor diameter is the same. The hat diameter is the same. Bolt pattern and center hole are the same, so we are good. This is the back side of that rotor. It is completely garbage. You could probably get them cut. They're not super thin, but bad enough that we're going to replace them. Let me get some brake cleaner and clean up the oil residue that's on this rotor. Okay, I'm going to spray this down really quick. Quick wipe of the rotor surface. Quick wipe of the drum surface. Try to get all the oils off. I'm not as concerned about the brake shoe part, but we'll do it. A little bit of wiping. Okay. There we go. Clean this off a little bit. Put a little bit of copper anti-seize on it. Just a smidge. You just want to make sure we don't get it onto the brake rotor surface. There we go. Wipe my fingers off. I'm going to line up the screw, but I don't have the screw, and you know, it's really not necessary. There we go. Nice and tight. Re-wipe that front edge. We're going to pop these shims off. Like that down. They're actually not even that rusty, which is good. Get the rest of the shims, or slides. Shims, slides, kind of the same thing on this. Line them up so that they're square. Line it up so that it's square. Like that. See if I got any red Loctite. A little bit of the red Loctite gel on that one and that one. This will go back on up here. See if we can do this with one hand. I cannot do this with one hand, so hold on. I cannot do this with one hand. There's one. There's two. Go to the shoulder hurts. And that's tight. Nice and smooth. And the one with the little tabby, the anti-squeal, or the one with the wear bar goes in the back. Come on. You want to go in? There we go. I don't like how how nice that one moves. This one doesn't move as nice, so we're gonna make it move nicer. Looks like it's got a little bit of powder coating built up, or whatever this paint is, on it, and it's just wore off one edge. So I'm going to sand it just lightly. Looks like it's wearing right on this edge. Nope. And there's a little excess of paint on this one. So I'm going to sand that down just lightly to get that paint off so that it slides better. So just a very light sanding on this inner pad. It's now nice and tight against the rotor, and it's snug, which they should be. You don't want them to not be snug, but now it's not going to get stuck against the rotor and heat it up. Now, I cannot find my normal clamp, my screw clamp that I use to compress these, so I'm hoping that this wood clamp will do the job. We're going to find out. I'm hoping I have enough leverage on here. To squeeze this back in. And that is backing it in nice and easy. Which is good, which means you don't have a binding piston either. If this is screwing it in that easily, just make sure we don't pinch that dust boot. That would be no good. Okay, let's see if we're back far enough. Compress those. Oh, right on. Right on. Put our bolts back in for that. This blend is in a bad spot. Like, they did not think about that for getting a socket in there. Tight. Gotta be careful with these really long wrenches like this, because on a bolt like that you could snap it clean off. You don't want that to happen. Okay, tight. And the caliper moves nice and free. Rotor's on. Let's put our wheel back on. Actually, before we put our wheel back on, I'm going to put a dab of anti-seize on the threads. I know some people don't like it. They say it's bad. I have never had an issue putting anti-seize on threads and never killed any threads or had lug nuts come off. I've got 3 good lug nuts. They do not have cracked edges. I'm going to put those in 3 positions. 1, 2, 3. They've got the 2 bad lug nuts that I had to pound the socket on. For right now, we're going to put these back on if I can get them tight. And I'm going to have him, or I'm going to order him up some new ones that work for this. Okay, 1 wheel done. 1 wheel done. I'm going to go to do the other side really quick, and then we'll take it for a drive and get this back to him because I think he needs it tonight. So it shouldn't take me very long. It should take me about 20 minutes to do the other side, and then we'll go drive it. Plot twist on this side, we have a stuck caliper. This is all working just fine. These slides are all working just fine, but I cannot get this piston to compress. So I don't know if it's the caliper itself or if it's the line, but we're gonna find out by cracking open the bleeder a little bit. If it compresses, it's not the caliper, we have a pinched line somewhere. Nice and easy. Get rid of leaking fluid, which is good, which means we got a bleed on it. But can we compress it? Oof. Well, we just compressed it. Shot brake fluid everywhere. And it may have just been caught in a spot that now that it's compressed, it'll compress all the way. Yeah, now it must have been a dirt ridge on it because that just compressed super easy. Yeah, now it goes right in. So there's a dirt ridge or some kind of a ridge on the piston, or it was just stuck. We've broken that. We got brake fluid everywhere. But the good thing is, since we've compressed it, it won't be back on that part of the ridge for a long time. So it shouldn't get stuck again on that one. Because after that point, it went in nice and easy. I will put it on the list of things, though, that he should get looked at. And other than that, this side went just like the other side, really well, really easy. Everything went together, it came apart smooth, went back together smooth. And the caliper moves back and forth, which is what we want to see. The pads move nice and like we're free. I didn't have to sand these ones down, they moved nice. Put this wheel back on and we'll take it for a drive. Put the wheel back on. But that makes sense why these pads aren't as worn down as far. The other side was doing more stopping than this side was. And that's what wore them down a little bit quicker. We should be fine now, but again, I will put this on the list of things that eventually we should probably look back into and get this, at least this caliper replaced. And again, we're gonna do shocks on it too coming up. So let's get this wheel back on and we'll take it for a drive. Taking the Equinox back, the brakes feel great. They sound great. Very smooth stopping, no pulsation. I don't think that he should have an issue at all for a while. Again, he's got a tire noise, but I think that's the alignment that we've got going on, because it doesn't change when the brakes are applied. So I'm assuming it's probably just an alignment noise. Yeah, it feels really smooth. Yeah, the brakes are good. So that will solve that problem. I will put on the list a couple of the things I know we still have to do on it. Shocks. We'll double check that rear caliper. If we can replace it, we'll just replace that one rear caliper. Again, for a while, I think it's going to be just fine. The exhaust, we did not get to the exhaust either, so that'll be another episode of trying to figure out the exhaust leak and do the exhaust repair. So we're going to take the Equinox back to him right now. Hello, Father.
Hi.
Here's your keys.
Oh, you're done.
I am done.
Wow. Oh. Hi.
So yeah, rear brakes done. That one caliper was stuck, but I unstuck it.
Oh.
So that's why this one were out a little bit faster, but not by a lot faster. I mean, they were both down to nothing, both sides. Oh yeah, that side there was no pad left on your pads. You were metal on metal.
Wow.
So, next thing we have to do is you need an alignment.
Okay.
The rear tires are wearing unevenly.
Okay.
So you're gonna probably want to look into an alignment at some point. Again, it's not in a hurry, but at some point, do an alignment.
Right.
And shocks. Your rear shocks are done. They're again, not tomorrow, not next month, but before winter, let's put shocks on it. If we can do the struts, we'll probably do struts up front too.
Oh,
but for right now, let's just do the rear shocks. Those are easy.
Okay.
But other than that,
She sounds good now, right?
oh, it doesn't sound like you can't hear it coming all the way down the road.
Right.
The exhaust we didn't get to yet, but we'll just plan that for a different date, a different episode. We'll do the exhaust leak. So, but other than that, yeah, it sounds fantastic now.
Oh, thank you so much.
Very good. So, with that, we will end this episode, and you'll definitely see this vehicle again because we got some other odds and ends to do. So, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hope you all have a great week.